quickly. All right, guys, welcome to the Sunday night call, the Scottsdale Summit call. My name is James McLeod. This is my wife, Audrey, and we are so excited to have you on this call tonight. We're calling in from Washington, D.C., where we're actually meeting with the state representatives at Capitol Hill to talk to them about the impact that network marketing has had on our lives, specifically Isagenix. So we're super excited to represent Isagenix this week. But we are here to talk about some exciting topics and exciting things that we believe that are just gonna totally blow your mind and give you a posture and a confidence going out into the world that maybe previously before this call you've never had before. So comment in the chats if that would be of value to you, if you would find value in increasing your posture, increasing your belief in what it is you actually have in your hands. Each and every single one of you, all 55 plus of you. Okay, great.
This is awesome. Well, guys, we are really excited and grateful to be walking alongside Kelly and Tyler Dickerhuff and their amazing, incredible team. We're so excited to be partnered with them. James and I, we are doing this first call, and then in a couple weeks, Tyler and Kelly are going to be hosting a call, and then we're closing out the 90-day action plan with the four of us doing a call, and then celebrating in Scottsdale, Arizona after New Year kickoff. So if you haven't already bought your New Year kickoff tickets, purchase them in your back office. Some of the things that we're going to be sharing tonight is really, it makes a massive difference when you show up to events. So if you haven't already bought your ticket, make plans to attend. It's at the end of January in Phoenix, Arizona. Our entire team, Kelly and Tyler, all of their team, Freedom Living team is all going to be there, and we are going to be there to soak up the belief of Isagenix, be there to have the new product launches, and to just be around the community, and those events change everything. So buy your tickets in your back office. We're really excited to be there with all of you guys in January. And
I know there are a lot of corporate events that take place in the traditional world when it comes to sales roles or different things like that. And you guys, in those types of settings, they're non-negotiable. That those employees or whatnot, those 1099 self-employed, need to get to those corporate events. And we tell anybody that comes into our organization and wants to build this, has a financial, lens that they're seeing this through, that these events are non-negotiable, that life is gonna happen, that things are gonna come up, but that these events, if you're truly wanting what you're saying you want this to be and to afford you the life of freedom that you say that you want, these are just non-negotiable. And we've seen over the past 6 and 7 years, when people make the sacrifices to get there, they expend the energy, the money, the time, the effort to get there, inevitably their business grows coming from that event. And you can almost pinpoint it back to the singular events of when things have really started to grow. Right. So I want to hear from you guys. We want to hear from you guys in the chats. We are almost 30 days into our 90-day action plan. We would love to hear just some open, honest communication. How are you feeling? How is everybody feeling? You're a month into this push. We're out of Nashville. You came, the energy was high. Where are you at with your goals? Are you feeling encouraged? Are you feeling a little bit behind? Are you feeling a little stuck? Are you feeling like there's, you're having massive breakthrough? Let's talk a little bit, because you guys, one of the things, thank you for your honesty, Lindsay. One of the things that we have found that it really helps perpetuate growth, or at least getting us either out of a rut or continuing the upswing of momentum, is just communicating where you're at. And that comes, that goes for anybody in the organization. If we can't be honest where we're at first, and at least coming to grips with that, then I believe we're doing ourselves a huge disservice. So I'm reading through these. Thank you everybody who is posting. Feeling behind, excited, definitely exhausted. My list. Ty, I needed to meet new people. That's great.
Meg doubled her goal of enrollments.
Come on.
Rank advancements. That's amazing, Meg. You're incredible. Kayla Crum sewing, Taylor Smith planting seeds.
Feeling stuck, really need to get focused.
Started hot, foundation set.
Perfect. Okay, so a good mixture. Well, let me go ahead and just say, and you feel free to keep commenting in the chat. You guys can continue communicating in the chats. There's camaraderie. If there's positive energy you want to feed off of, and you don't have the highest,
receive it, baby.
You don't have the highest energy tonight on this Sunday, you receive whatever's coming through those chats. You get connected with somebody on there. If you see they're fired up, get connected with that energy. And that's really why we wanted to collaborate with Tyler and Kelly in the beginning, because we know that the more it's such a cliche saying, but the more the merrier. So getting around people that are excited and that are maybe having success right now can really bleed into your organization.
So tonight we are going to talk to you about the compounding effect of network marketing, and specifically with Isagenix. And so for those of you that don't know our story, we've been in Isagenix now. It'll be 7 years of me building my business, our business, in January. It'll be 7 years. I started, and James and I met 7 months into me first saying yes. He built his separate business center. I built mine. And then when we got married in 2016, we really came together. But I want to share with you what fires me up about tonight's call is the long-term vision of what you're sowing into your business. And for us, if you're a part of Freedom Living Team, you always hear us talk about the future of what you're working towards. Because everything that you're doing in your Isagenix business doesn't show up in these present moments. It shows up the months and the years to come. But so many people lose sight of what they're working towards. They lose sight of the vision. They lose sight of the future. And then it wanes on them, and they don't have that community and that culture to reel them in. So they fall to the wayside. And it kills my heart because amazing people with great, great potential throw in the towels far too soon because they don't see that immediate gratification. Well, what we're sharing with you tonight, what our hope is for this call, is that you would be so engaged with what's happening in Isagenix, that you would be so sure and so positive that what you're working towards isn't going to go to the wayside, and that you're going to be rewarded for the months and the years to come. And it wasn't until truly 3 years into my personal build, James, would you say for you as well, or would you say it was less for you?
No, it was honestly probably around the 3-year mark where this whole concept really nailed me.
It took me 3 full years to fully understand what I was really working towards for Isagenix and with Isagenix. And I was making a multiple 6-figure income at that point. And so for me, when this concept of truly what the compounding effect was, when I truly grasped what Isagenix was for our family, for our legacy, that is what drives me day in and day out to serve this team, to serve this company, and to serve the people that we have yet to meet, because this changed the entire game for us.
So, like she was saying, when Audrye and I both got started individually, this was never a question of if this would work, okay? I'll just go ahead and say that. For Audrye, she nannied for Herb and Patty Cepeda for 2 years. Her belief was through the roof. She came into this, and there wasn't a plan B. There wasn't a back escape route in case this didn't work. Yeah. It was there from day one. It was burning the ships, as you've heard maybe that story, but you gotta stay hydrated, guys. I mean, good grief. Wow. So, when we came in, we were so sold out for what this could be. And if you're not already at that place, we hope that by the end of this call, you will be. Because I believe that that's one of the biggest ingredients that's going to, predicate your success, is going to be how sold out you are at your own, your own attempts at this, or your own build at this, your own efforts at this, how sold out you are for this. And so, when Audrye and I came in, we've always casted the entire vision of what Isagenix can be to everybody. Right. Yes, we have products, and yes, we have a financial opportunity, but and Audrye is in this vision. She's the queen of vision. We always talk about both. Mm-hmm. So that's a tip. If you're just singularly talking about one or the other, I would encourage you to talk about the entirety of what this can be, because while some people just want to lose 5, 10, 15, 20 pounds, what really might impact their lives on a grander scale once they do that is getting their products paid for and then paying off their mortgage or paying off their student loan or being able to take their family on a vacation that they haven't been able to take for 20 years. And if we don't do the service of casting that vision, then we're really withholding a lot from them. But what I love about Isagenix, you guys, and we can all attest to this, is they've gone to such great lengths to research and to validate and to scrutinize these products to where there is no question that this is the most, high-end nutritional line that can, offer solutions to every aspect of your life virtually and increase your health.
Right.
And we do not have to question any of it.
Right.
If some scientist or some PhD grad or whatnot comes to you with an opposition, you can say, look at many that are longitudinal that, lasted over a year's time. What we get to do with that, you guys, is we turn people, Isagenix turns people into referral machines, right? Comment in the chats if you've had somebody come in that said, I'm never going to share this with anybody. And then they have an amazing product experience and they start sharing it with people. Comment in the chats. They say, I'm never going to share this.
Yep.
And then 2, 3, 4 weeks in, they go, oh my gosh.
Right.
So what Isagenix has done is they've done all of this legwork so that we can come in and be referral machines.
Right.
Go ahead.
Oh, were you done?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, all right. So, and really, truly, when you look at Isagenix as a whole, what fires me up about this particular company is it is an equal playing field for all. You're talking to James, who has a college degree, and you're talking to me, who was rejected from college. It doesn't matter who you are. It doesn't matter where you've come from. It doesn't matter if you have an educational background, if you are if you're in corporate America and you're extremely successful there, or if you're a high school dropout. Every single person comes into Isagenix the same exact way, and everybody's given the tools and is given an equal playing field to go as far and as high as you desire to go. The key component here is you. Are you willing to stand the test of time? Are you willing to lean in when things get challenging? Are you willing to lean in when somebody tells you no? Or when you have an amazing cycle week because caramel latte got dropped last week and maybe this week you're looking at your cycles and you're like, oh my gosh, what's going on? Are you willing to stand the test of time to say, I'm still gonna do the do no matter what? I'm unshakable because of what I'm working towards. Now for me, prior to this understanding, and we have an amazing presentation lined up for you, prior to this understanding, you guys, I was so moved by my emotions in this business, and it was so draining, and it was so exhausting, and I needed a pep talk from my mentors every other day because my emotions were to the left and to the right and to the left and to the right, and you can be thrown side to side to side to side, or you can remain steady and stable with your focus, so focused on all of the gratitude and all of the amazing things that corporate at our headquarters, what Dr. Plant is doing for our product innovation, what this team is doing for the energy. You can be so focused on the gratitude in the future of what your compounding effects and your energy in your organization is doing for you. Because what keeps me going every day isn't the number of cycles that I see in my back office. It's not the number of cycles that I see Ty have, or Cheyenne have, or Elaine and Chelsea have. What keeps me going is the future of what I know everybody's cycles are going to be as long as I continue showing up. Because the compounding effect I want to go as far as to say it's a law that everything that you're working towards is going to be mass doubled and tripled and quadrupled over time.
Yeah, and even more so to that, before we dive into our presentation here, even more so to that, you guys, this is about also the time we're living in. Like, do we all actually realize the day and age in which we are living in this beautiful time where we can all sit on this little metal and electrical device and stare at each other's faces, whether you're in the gym, whether you're at home, whether you're on the couch, whether you're in the car, and we can learn and glean from each other on a computer or on our phone from hundreds of thousands of miles away. Like, that in and of itself should fire you up more than anything, that we have the opportunity to have something like this. And we can get so distracted from the left and to the right and, oh, what's this and what's that? There's such gold to what we have right now. So we're gonna dive into this. Give me a thumbs up in the chats if you can see this. Now, last time we did this, there was a little bit of technical difficulties when I tried to do this. So let me know. Can you guys see that? Can you see this? Thumbs up.
Okay.
Okay, great.
Awesome.
So we're going to talk about why Isagenix, why network marketing, and will it be worth it? Because I know let's be honest. One of the questions that I believe prohibits us from taking massive action is we ask the question of ourselves, is this expensive energy, is this investment of time going to be worth it? Is it going to really pay off in the long run? And when we can answer that question with a resounding yes, then the basics of connecting, following up, the mundane, the everyday things that maybe are not so glamorous. Listen, anybody that you saw on stage at Celebration this year that you said, man, I would love to have their success, or I would love to have that amount of, impact or influence. Trust me, they have spent so many days in the quiet doing the basic, income producing activities that we've all heard from stage when nobody is watching, because they saw what they are building for the future. And they've done that time and time and time again. Mm-hmm. So here's what we're going to talk about.
And if you haven't grabbed a pen and paper, I highly recommend for you to write down some of these statistics that we have, because as you're growing your Isagenix business, these are stats that I look at every single month to continue instilling that deep belief of what I'm actually working towards. So if you don't have a pen and paper, grab a pen and paper, guys. This is a workshop. We want you to get this. We want you to be able to teach this to your organization and to your teams, because it's not just about you absorbing the information. We want you guys to be able to teach this to your team so your team gets excited about what they're working towards as well.
Right. So let's dive in here really quickly. There we go. So let's look at what's going on in the world, okay? We have automation. We have what?
No.
We have automation. We have things that are becoming so automated. Jobs are being replaced by robots, by artificial intelligence, by all sorts of things. Comment in the chats how many jobs you think will be replaced by robotic automation in the next 11 years. Comment in the chats. What's your guess? How many jobs are going to be replaced? We can't see the chats currently. We might pull up your other.
Here, I'll pull up my phone right here.
So we can see the chats. Okay, I'll go ahead and tell you. 800 million jobs are going to be replaced by robotic automation, artificial intelligence. You see it happening, you guys. You see hotel check-ins. You can go to order at Panera without anybody taking your order. You walk up to what? An iPad. You click the buttons, you get your food, somebody slides it over the counter, and boom, it's done. All of this is happening. Over 70% of Americans would prefer to be self-employed. So what is that saying? People are looking to work for themselves, right? That's been a craze for the past several years. Now, this is a crazy statistic. How many new home-based businesses do you think start every single day? Comment in the chats.
I can't figure out the chats on my phone.
Comment in the chats.
Oh, there we go.
We got the chats rolling. Okay. 750,000, 25,000. Okay. Not quite that high. 7,600 new home-based businesses are happening every single day. They're starting every day. Do you think we have an opportunity here, you guys, based off of these trends? Okay. And this is the last one that I think is so staggering. Statistics show that an extra $300 to $500 every month would save 50% of marriages. Guys, we are in the people business. We love money. We love, financial freedom. We love all the things that affords. But we are into the people business. And if that last bullet point does not get you up and out of bed to help somebody run to consultant or to crystal manager, you guys, the $300 bonus or the $250, 5-cycle bonus is a massive deal in this world. Can we all agree on that? That's so incredibly huge. And for a lot of people, they're working towards that. They're working towards just that extra, $300, $500 a month. So let's talk about, and let's, continue to look at what's going on in the world.
And, we were talking to somebody, who just joined our organization. They joined our team in July, and they made an extra $10,000 in 6 weeks. And she was crying to us, sharing with us that she didn't even know that something like this was even possible, that even $300 would have allowed breathing room. You're starting a conversation. Somebody can come in and make an extra $300 and go on to make $10,000 in a short couple weeks. There are stories that I hear all the time from people who are on this line who are starting your customers out, sharing the vision, and then they're going and making an extra $1,000 in a week. It's transforming their life. And statistics show that there is a need for it. And as long as we're being the vehicle and the conduits to open up our mouth, people are there to receive what it is that we have to share. So, like we talked about, really, did you have something you wanted to say?
Go ahead.
Okay, like what we talked about, the system isn't working anymore. We are in the technology age right now. Educational systems is teaching the industrial age concepts. They're teaching old school mindsets. And right now, in this day and age, we're a part of the tech age. We're a part of online Zooms and Instagram and Facebook and LinkedIn. We're at the touch of your fingertips. You can send out an Instagram post, and somebody in London, Lane and Chelsea connected with somebody in London who just went crystal consultant. Through the fingertips, this just happened. So what's happening right now is kids are going to college, they're graduating from college, getting in, thousands of dollars worth of debt to maybe hopefully find a job. Things are just changing. The world is changing. More and more people are starting to participate in the gig economy. You see influencers, you see bloggers, you see affiliate programming going on all of your social platforms. Today, every single person is looking for ways to make an extra side income, an extra way to make money. And I believe, James and I, we believe wholeheartedly that there's no better company out there than Isagenix. There's no better compensation plan. There's nothing better than we've got the gold with Isagenix. And so what we see with our next stat is that 42% of millennials have already earned money from the gig economy.
4 out of every 10, you guys, young people they've already earned money, whether it's through Uber, Lyft, Bite Squad,
Airbnb,
VRBO. Who do you know that's turned their place or one of their places into an Airbnb room where they can rent it out because they want to, offset the bills, the mortgage, whatever. They've already participated in it. People are already in it, right? And then the last statistic, 50% of all Americans are going to have participated or earned money in the gig economy by the end of next year. Half. And it's only growing. You guys, we're in this huge pendulum swing where so many people are realizing that the things that once worked are not working anymore. I got a bachelor's degree in psychology. Now, there was a lot of other classes that went along with that, but there was so much, and I made a post about it, there was so much that was not taught to me about the real life, about making money, about leverage. That's what we're going to talk about tonight, is leverage and leveraging yourself and getting a part of something that can truly allow you to have exponential growth in your life. Okay, so these are all the trends that are taking place right now. So the game-changing concept of leverage. Now we're going to talk about, comment in the chats if you are still currently working an 8 to 5, 9 to 5 job. If you're still currently working some type of job, whether it's part-time or full-time, comment in the chats.
Julia is, Lane is, Tracy, Kathleen, Dom, a lot of people, almost everyone.
Yep.
Victoria, nicely. Okay,
and
guys.
And a fun fact, while you guys are still commenting, we met, and I made a post about this. We were in the Knoxville airport flying to DC just a couple days ago, and this pilot walked up to me and said, "Are you James McLeod?" I said, "Yes, sir." Guys, I thought I won like free tickets to the Bahamas or something. He walked up and he was like, "James McLeod," and I looked up and I was like, "Yes, sir." He was like, "Is your wife here?" And I was like, "Yes, sir." I was hoping he would pull out and here's 2 tickets to Hawaii, but he didn't. But he said something even better. He said, "I've been using Isagenix for over a year, my wife and I, and it's totally changed our lives." He said, I take it on the go with me. It's an absolute game. It's changed the game when it comes to how I consume my nutrition, how I feel better on the road or in the air. And he goes, "You know what? And we're going through a little hard season right now, but we're looking for a way to monetize this." A pilot.
And Ellen Kimball enrolled him.
And Ellen Kimball on our team, he's on our team. But a pilot, you guys, is even wanting to participate in the gig economy. How often do we disqualify other people because we label them and say, "Oh, they don't need this, they don't want this, they've got a good thing going"? Do you know how much is about to be totally changed when it comes to the good things going in people's lives right now and the careers and the jobs that they have and that they feel so secure in? We must not withhold this from anyone.
Right.
So many people would walk by a pilot and go, man, he's got a solid gig. Most of those guys come out of military. They make a couple $100,000 a year. They got plush benefits, all this stuff. And here's this guy telling me he wants to look at what we have. That is powerful. And when you can leave this call with that posture, there won't be anybody that can tell you that this doesn't work or that this would not be an enhancement to their life if they were to apply it. So we have all of these people that are, working your 9-to-5 job. So we're going to make a comparison here because we're talking about productivity. Okay. Now, how many hours in a day, if you worked, how many hours do all of us have in a day? If you wanted to work as much as you possibly could, how many hours would you be able to work in a day?
24.
24. Okay. So let's just take the average work time, okay? Which is, anybody that's either self-employed or employed. So you'll see this work life and this work and trade. Anybody, even that is self-employed, you take CPAs, you take doctors, you take attorneys. These people, they're self-employed, meaning they work for themselves. That's glamorous.
Hairstylists, yep.
Hairstylists, but they are constantly trading their time for money, okay? There is still that exchange. But also, there's only so many hours of productivity that you can get paid on, no matter how high your salary is, no matter, if you're a doctor and you want to see, if you want to see 100, patients a day, that's great if you can get it in a 24-hour period and you're okay with not eating, not sleeping, not bathing, not going home. But if you can't, then you're capped with how many people you can see. So working 8 hours a day, that's 56 hours a week, you're going to be paid on 2,900, just about 2,900, 2,912 hours of your own productivity in a year. Does this make sense to you guys? Comment in the chat if this is making sense. That's what you get paid on. And see, here's the thing. In these conversations with the people that you're having with, this is the limbo that they're in. If they want more money, then they've got to sacrifice their time. If they want more time, then they've got to sacrifice their money. There's this lever, right? There's this seesaw that's going back and forth. Oh, I've taken so much time off. I got to really go back and, kind of get back to work so I can build that bank account back up, right? That's the type of talk that you hear out in the world. Network marketing in this model that we're talking about, that all of you guys are already participating in, is the only place that I found where you can simultaneously increase your income. And when you build it correctly, you can also increase the amount of time freedom that you have.
Right.
Where else can you do that?
Yeah.
Where else can you do that?
This is so good. No, keep going.
So,
this is amazing.
We talked about it. How many hours in a day? If you wanted to do all the work possible, if you worked around the clock, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 0 days off, 365 days a year, this is the amount of hours you would be paid on of your own productivity. Now, if you hire an employee, you're like, hey, I can double myself. How many of you guys, I don't know about you, I was an employee for a while.
I was a terrible employee. But
Arby's drive-through girl.
Hey, I made those curly fries.
Well, yeah.
I made them happy first.
So how many of you guys, if you're an employee, would you say you care as much about the business you're working for as the owner? Does anybody care as much as the owner? Probably
no. Julian
not.
Says nope in all caps.
Because I love that, Julian. Very, very subtle.
Not a chance, Christina. No shot, Dom.
So here's the dance. You go in and you stay because they are willing to pay you, right? And the company is willing to pay you just enough to keep you from leaving. They pay you just enough to keep you going in, even though your friends are going here and you really want to do this and you really want to take this trip and you really want to have this lifestyle, but they pay you just enough to keep you. And that's the type of dynamic we're in. So if you're self-employed and you're like, okay, I could hire in another doctor and whatnot, one, that doctor's probably not going to care as much about that practice as you do, or that employee's not going to care about that as much as you do. And you're now responsible for all of that, right? So 8,700 hours. What?
Can you pull that up to the top so they can see the last slide?
They don't see this.
Oh,
they don't see this. So 8,700 hours of own productivity. Guys, this model, let me just tell you, if you don't know already, this is outdated. This model is outdated. Okay? That's what we're wanting to really drive home today.
Right.
So let's just take industry numbers, okay? This is what Isagenix is, okay? Now, let's say you have 1,000 people in your organization. Maybe you don't yet. That's totally okay.
But you'll be surprised with how quickly your organization is going to grow as people are experiencing amazing, incredible product experiences, and as you are continuing to show up, plugging them into the team pages, plugging them into the team calls. 1,000 can grow very quickly.
You want to go?
Yeah. So if you have 1,000 people in your organization, so these are company stats here, guys. About 20% of the 1,000 are actually going to be product sharers or business builders.
It's really about 17, but for example's sake, we're going to round up. Okay.
To 20, yeah.
Yeah.
So let's just say 200 people out of the 1,000 are building the business. Now, if every single one of those 200 people just put in 1 hour of productivity towards their dreams and their future each day, you break that up. We talk about breaking up 4 15-minute blocks. 1 15-minute block in the morning, in the afternoon, in the later afternoon, and in the evening to get 1 hour of productivity a day.
So who would agree that putting in 1 hour of productivity is reasonable, right? This is a pretty reasonable example, right? 1 hour of being productive.
Just a minimum.
Now, if we're being honest, the people that are working their jobs, you're working 8 hours a day, but your hours of productivity are usually around like 2 to 3, right? Where you're actually at your computer really banging out some work. The rest of it's kind of just, going around, but the hours of productivity. So we're comparing this to Isagenix. Yes, 1 hour, absolutely.
You're earning on the productivity of 200 hours per day. Guys, grasp that for a second. What you're working towards in Isagenix, this is leverage. This is residual. This is what you're working towards.
I'll pause you really quickly.
Yeah.
Because some people on this might say, well, I don't have 1,000 people. Are you talking about 1,000 personally enrolled? Are you talking about 1,000 that have directly come from you?
Just 1,000
how many
people in your
people?
downline.
We have how many people about in our organization?
17,000.
Okay. How many people have you personally brought into this?
Maybe over the last 7 years, 400.
Okay. So over the past 7 years, she's personally brought in 400 people. And that has compounded into 18,000 people. And for you, this example, it doesn't have to be people that you personally enroll or even, personally work with. It's just people in your organization. So I wanted to make that clear because some people might be on this call and go, oh goodness, I can't enroll 1,000 people. That's not what this is about. It's just how our specific compensation plan, how we pay unlimited generations. This is why this model works. This is not go all the way across direct sales or multi-level or all network marketing. This is specific to Isagenix.
Mm-hmm. Yep. So 1 hour a day, 365 days a year, you are paid on 73 hours.
73,000.
73,000. That's what I meant. 73,000 hours of productivity, you guys. If you could get excited about the future of your business and getting paid on 73,000 hours of productivity, comment in the chats below. I mean, receive this, you guys.
Is that exciting to anybody?
This is what you're working towards. This is what we have with Isagenix. I can't be silent about this. I worked so hard for so long trying to build my clientele as a hairstylist. Tirelessly going out to network and to work, but it never compounded the way that this does. It would take you 8.5 years of working 24 hours a day to be able to do what is possible with Isagenix, having just an organization of 1,000 and growing. 25 years. It would take you 25 years of working 8 hours a day to have this type of productivity at your 9 to 5, at your full-time job. Now, we are big components, and we are so grateful for every person who is working construction or who is a teacher. We so value who people are in the job professions that they have. There are so many people on this line who absolutely love what they do, and we celebrate you for that. Continue to love what you do and work anything that you put your hand to, work heartily. You say work heartily as unto the Lord. That is who you are. That is your work. But you can do this in the pockets of your life and create this type of productivity while you're still pursuing the job that you love so much. So let's talk about 5,000.
So let's grow it a little bit, right? Because all of you are on this call because you know that this is a journey, right? You know it's a process. You know that this takes time to grow. You know that this can grow exponentially larger than probably you initially thought it could. You saw you shared, they shared, and you're like, oh, that's exciting. And then you saw you could make 5,000 in 5 weeks, and you're like, whoa, show me that. And then you get excited. So let's talk about 5,000 in your organization, okay? We're still going to use the same examples. So you have 5,000 in your organization. We're still going to use the 20%. So that's 1,000 people. You guys, when you can write this out at a coffee shop, you can write this out to somebody and show them the difference of leveraged income. This will blow their mind. So you have 1,000 people, okay? 1,000 people still only working an hour a day. Now this is work, right? It's focused work. And we're all about little pockets of time working, not scrolling, not, gabbing back and forth, working, of connecting, of following up, the 3-3-3 rule, contact new a day, follow up 3 with 3 new a day, show the plan 3 new a day, all of that, working an hour a day. That's 365,000 hours of paid productivity to you a day. And if you're following this model too, you're only working 1 hour a day as well. Now, you might be working more because this is something that you see greater. So you might be working 2, 3, 4 hours a day, but you're still only personally inputting, let's say 10, 20, 30, maybe 35, 40 hours, and you're paid on 365,000 hours in a year. It's not even possible with linear income. Not only is it not plausible, it's not even possible with that type of model. And that's what we're stressing to you is right here in 2019, we are living in such a special time where this has not saturated the entire market yet. Isogenics is relatively unheard of in every city, in every country, in every state or province in the world. And we have it right here in our hands. It would take you 41 years of working 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, to get paid on that same amount of productivity. And it would take you 125 years, over a century of working 8 hours a day to be getting paid on what the Isogenics business that you will have would pay you in 1 year. Now, I hope this is bringing some clarity, and I hope this is allowing for some relief when people look at you and they say, I don't understand that. That doesn't work, because they've been conditioned to think like this. They've been conditioned to see the trade of time and money, right? We can empathize with that. We can see that. But it's so exciting when you see there is another way, you see there is a better way, and you say, no, this is actually where I'm headed. Is this blowing anybody else's mind? Like when I first understood this, and I said, wait a second.
Christina said that was her.
I'm not just getting paid on my own work, but everybody else who's working for their own dreams, for wanting to get their own products paid for, wanting to pay for their own mortgages. I'm getting paid on that productivity because Isogenics has built this amazing compensation plan. You guys, that keeps me up so many nights because I want so badly for so many people to see how powerful this actually is.
Yeah.
And that if people really had the wherewithal to look at this objectively and see, it would be no question. They would say, yes, this is a better way. It's clearly a better way. So we'll continue to move on. I love it. Hope you guys are making taking some great notes. So do you want to go over this?
No, go ahead.
So this might, if you know the answer to this, just remain silent in the chats. But I'll lay this example out here. You have two options. I can give you $1 million today in your bank account. I'll wire it and it'll be there in 5 minutes. Or I can give you a penny and it can double every day for 30 days and you can take whatever is left on day 30. Which one, if you're being totally honest, would you take? $1 million in the bank, $1 million, that's a lot of money today, or a penny that would double for the next 30 days and you can get what is at day 30.
If you don't If you don't know the answer, comment. If you do, don't. Okay. The penny.
We have one person that would take the penny. I love it. Okay.
Penny.
So we'll take the penny. So this is the whole compounding. Now you hear this. We hear compounding. How does this apply to your isogenics business? We're going to get into that. But you take a penny, a measly penny, and you start with it on day one. Okay? On day one, it's just one single insignificant penny. You might walk over on the ground or whatnot. You don't see anything of it. And you go to day 10. Day 10, you're still kicking yourself because you're like, man, I'm only at $5.12. I really wish I would have taken the $1 million on day one. Mm-hmm. There's no way that this is going to pay off. I can't even hardly buy a sandwich with $5.12. Financial freedom. Should have taken the $1 million. You go to day 20. You're only at $5,200. You're out partying with the person that took the $1 million on this call, and they're saying, hey, drinks on me. Don't worry about it. I have the better decision here. You can maybe pay off some small loans or something with that, but I got the drinks. Don't worry about it. But look at what happens on day 30. Over $5 million you have at day 30. Mm. Now, this is something that many people they post about it. They talk about it. Yet so many don't understand how that compounding can continue to work and how it works in your isogenics business.
Well, and I think, the thing to remember is, and so many of us, I am 100%, James has to remind me of this. We are a generation and we are a people of wanting things right now. And if we don't see that instant gratification right this second, we can get discouraged, or we can get frustrated, or we can have X, Y, and Z. But have this picture ingrained in your head, because day one is what I call and what we call your first year in network marketing.
Day 1 to day 10.
Day 1 to day 10 is really your first year in network marketing. I mean, this compounding effect works for people who show up. You're showing up on the team calls. You're getting yourself to the events. You're remaining in the community. You may not be enrolling 55,000 people in your first month, but by golly, we're going to see your face on these Zoom calls on Sunday evening. We're going to see you commenting in the pages. But year one looks a lot like this. It looks a lot like talking to a lot of people and hearing a lot of no's. Year one looks like me pacing back and forth, walking in a square on the rug in my parents' living room, doing call after call after call after call after no after no, after my jaw literally hurting, wondering to myself, this lifestyle that I've seen Herb and Patty live, is it ever going to be possible for me? Year one, hosting a launch party, doing an online overview, and nobody shows up. Having this vision burning so deeply within you, but none of your friends jump on board, and maybe some people are even talking about you on social media. People would tweet about me in my first year. Are you going to withstand the test of time? How bad do you really want this? So your year one, anything that you get paid on your year one is praise God, give him glory, thank you, Jesus, hallelujah, this is amazing. But honest to goodness, this is no depiction truly of what your life is truly going to look like. But are you going to withstand the test of time? People who make it 1 year in network marketing, they have that foundation. And after you've made it a year, after you got yourself to celebration, after you get yourself to New Year kickoff, after you had that enrollment and you get the return issue email and that person's returning that value pack that you were so excited they got, and they were going to run with you and they were going to build this business, and now they're ghosting you. Are you still going to be here? And when you're still here and that 1 year mark hits, that foundation is firmly planted. And that belief, that maturing, that understanding, that personal development is deep within you. And you, go ahead.
Go ahead. Finish your sentence, but I want to say something after that.
That deep understanding and that deep knowing and that unshakable belief and that maturing and that personal growth and personal development and understanding begins to take place in your life, in your energy. Get this, your energy begins to change. And that energy that changes because you withstand the test of time, because you show up, because you lean in when it doesn't feel good to lean in, but you're continuing to show up for yourself and for your future team. That energy is going to be what attracts what year 2 has to bring.
And this is not just about a time frame, you guys, because there have been people that have been around for a year or whatnot. We're talking about people that are showing up and moving their business forward every day, taking a step forward every day, no matter if it feels insignificant or not. So many people can, underappreciate and really underutilize the power of showing up every day. I know Tyler and Kelly are huge advocates of John Maxwell, and he talks about the reason why he's at where he's at is because he shows up and does the consistent things every day. People are going to say, you might not see the fruit of it right now. You're planting seeds. You might not see all of those enrollments. You might not see all of those rank advancements for consultant, but are you going to consistently show up every single day to see the harvest come forth? You guys, we're farmers. We're planting seeds. We don't doubt that the seeds are going to blossom and grow. Some might not, but we have the faith that the right ones will. So this is year 1, day 1 to day 10. People are still looking at you and saying, maybe that thing isn't really working. You haven't crushed it out of the park and made financial freedom yet. It might not be working. You're still going. Year 2 is day 10 to day 20. You're still rolling. Okay, still rolling. Now what's happened is you've done enough trial and error to where you've now attracted some people, some like-minded people to come to that next big event with you. They say, you know what? I saw you go to that. I've seen you have some success. I'm going to come with you. Now you're starting to become the person that is attracting those other high, impact individuals who are hungry for growth, who want to get around other charismatic, high energy people. Now you're seeing that impact and you're seeing those people come to the events with you, and it's exciting. You're seeing that growth even more. And then year 3 is where things really start to take off. Now notice, the penny does not reach $5 million until day 30. So you could be pushing, you could be growing and say, when is my break? When is my breakthrough coming? It doesn't happen and doesn't shoot all the way up to 5 million until day 30. But on year 3, now you're really starting to get the skills. You're really starting to be able to teach the skills. You're seeing the depth start forming in your organization in an incredible way where you're realizing that a lot of this is happening, again, if it's done correctly and done, system-wise, which I know you guys are probably taught because it's taught throughout all Isogenics. You're realizing that a lot of people are doing this without you, that your team is growing and that people are going to share this with or without you. And you wake up one day, and I know for us, honestly, if we're being really honest, it took us until about 5 years in when we hit millionaire, to be honest with you, making $1 million, where we really said, you know what, I think I'm kind of getting the hang of this.
Yeah, it did. And we started, our journey is so different. Our journey is different than your journey. We started this business so young. We started at 22 without knowing anything about business or about professionalism or about, connecting or how to be kind of okay, cool on social media. Like, I was the worst ever on the planet. Like, if you want to be encouraged, scroll back on my Instagram and you're going to be like, oh my gosh, if they can do this, I can do this. We started in our journey. It took us 5 years to finally feel like we kind of understood how to build a network marketing business. And what we're seeing is we're seeing new leaders emerge who are doing what we did in 5 in their first 1.5 to 2 years, which is so encouraging to me because number 1, it means the systems are in place. It means they're stronger in their minds. It means the timing is now. And people are primed and they're ready for something like Isogenics. It shows me that, systems and leaders and training and corporate staff and compensation plan is in place for us to truly go as high and as far as we want to go. But again, all of this comes back to the daily action, the 5 new connections every day. the showing up every day. It doesn't mean, going hard for 1 week and then taking off for 1 week. I would rather have somebody show up doing a little bit every day than somebody coming in, burning it out 2 months later, and then they're gone. Show consistency every day. Find a pace that works for you and stick to that pace that works for you so that you can withstand the test of time.
So last thing, last slide. This is gonna bring it home, and this is something I know there's a lot of numbers right here, but honestly, when you can get this, anybody that knows finances, anybody that understands investing, anybody that understands other models of leveraged income or investment income, this will resonate with them. Okay, so you have the cycles, right? A cycle is how many dollars a week? It's $54 a week, right? That's $2,800 a year. I have all these examples, cycles, the pay value, $270 a week, $14,000. First, I want to say something. It is so important that we celebrate every single step of this journey. Comment in the chats if you have cycled consistently 1 time or more over the past 4 weeks. If you've cycled 1 time.
Look at these.
Tell me this.
Come on.
If anybody cycled in the past month, comment me. If anybody has cycled once in the past 4 weeks, comment me.
This is amazing.
I want to talk about this for a second because we can so downplay this in this industry and in this company because we see all these people that are making so much money and we can say, man, it's just a measly cycle. If this is new for you, I want you to make a shift right now. I don't want you to ever downplay one single cycle ever again. Can we all agree to that? Can we all agree that we would become so grateful for every $54 payout that Isagenix pays us based off of the volume that other people are buying and consuming for themselves on a global scale? Can we all agree to that? Because listen, we can get in these pity parties where, oh, I know it's a low week, it's slow. Is your business like just falling apart? I know mine is too, like, ugh. And they can just get all like just sour, and it just taints what is so beautiful. Even if your cycles are low, you're still making money, and guess what? You still have the power to change it.
Yeah. And you know what? Having a culture of Thanksgiving in your heart doesn't leave room. There is no room for complaining. There is no room for negativity. When you are grateful and you're thankful for every little thing, I'm talking about blown away by one PIB of that, $100 of that value pack to every single cycle. When you have that culture of Thanksgiving in your heart, that culture of deep, deep Thanksgiving, there will be no room for depression or just anxiety. There's no room. The times where I get the most anxious, it's because I'm so self-focused on the things that are not versus the things that are. So creating that culture of Thanksgiving will be, that is just an asset in your business in and of itself that will cause a perpetual growth for you.
I want to shout out Rob and Andrew, and forgive me if I forgot anybody else who cycled their first time this week. That is huge.
Andrew had his first one today.
So awesome.
Wow,
so huge. So
that's amazing.
Here's what I want to show, okay? Here's your cycles. Here's what you make on a weekly basis if you cycle that every week, on a yearly basis. And here's the amount of money that you would need to have invested in a money market or some other place that is paying you 5% annually. Now, let me give you a little background. You are not going to get 5% on any money anywhere if it's just sitting, okay? That's like extremely high numbers. You're going to get like maybe 2.5%, probably not even that. It's probably going to be well under 2. So this is if your money is sitting there. Who has heard the saying, it takes money to make money? Anybody heard that saying? They throw it in your face. Your parents maybe say that to you. Hey, honey, it takes money to make money, right? They kind of say that as like a downer. Now, in some aspects, that's real. But praise the Lord, that's not network marketing, okay? You need a couple $100 and you can start earning whatever you want. So these numbers that you're about to see on this right-hand column is money that would need to be sitting there stagnant. You would not be able to touch it, pull any money from it, and it would pay you residually what each of these cycles are worth. You guys following me? I want you guys to understand this. So if you're cycling 1 time a week, you're making $54 a week, you're making $2,800 a year. You would need, you guys ready for this? Oh, that was anticlimactic. $56,000 in the bank sitting in order for that to pay you 5%, which again, that's not going to pay you in today's world, which would be an additional $54 a week residually. You understand why people say it's so hard to make true residual income? Because you need so much money and you need so many other factors in order to do that. So to make 1 cycle a week, what some of you might have been downplaying because you're not at the 5-cycle bonus yet, or you're not getting paid as 1-star, you would need $56,000 in cash sitting in a bank paying you 5% to make $54 a week. Is that hitting home for anybody? Comment in the chats.
Mm-hmm.
Is it making sense? Okay, we're gonna roll through these. I hope you guys are writing these down. 5 cycles. If you're at 5 cycles, you guys, you're making $14,000 a year. You would need $280,000 sitting in the bank in cash, liquid cash, not going towards a house, not going towards a piece of land, sitting in the bank, earning 5% a year to be making $270 a week residually. For 10 cycles a week, you would need over $500,000.
Crazy.
10 cycles, that's 1 star. Do you know how powerful it is? The business center that you have that's cycling 10 times a week, or that's going to be cycling 10 times a week by the end of this 90-day action plan. Guys, at 20 cycles a week at a 2-star, you would need over $1.1 million sitting in the bank to be making over $1,000 a week residually. Come on. This is so powerful. If they taught me this in school, if they taught me this in college, do you think that there would be a paradigm shift for all of the young people when they see this? Absolutely. 50 cycles, you would need $2.8 million. And if you want for 100 cycles a week, $5,400 a week, you would need $5.6 million in the bank, sitting there, earning 5% interest year after year to be making $280,000 a year. So if you're cycling 1 time, 2 times, 5 times, 10 times, I want you to look at this graph. I want you to write this down, and I want you to remember what you have. You guys, times are changing, and we have the ability, you have a responsibility, I would go to say, to share this, to educate other people on the power of leveraged income and what we have here with Isagenix. Again, this is not congruent to every compensation plan out there, because not every compensation plan is as generous as Isagenix's is, and we all know that here. But look at this. I hope this brings your chest out a little bit. I hope this gets you excited for the vision and the future that you are building for your family, for River sitting there with Cheyenne, for the kids that maybe you don't have yet that you want to put through college. Guys, this is what we have. When we say we have the gold, this is what we mean. Yeah. Is this making sense? Does this blow anybody's mind? I don't know about you. I'm probably going to have trouble sleeping again tonight. Classic.
So just know that it is going to be worth it. We started out this entire call, saying, is it going to be worth it? We wanted you to see year 1, year 2, year 3. We wanted you to see the compound effect of your work ethic. We wanted to see what is possible for you. We wanted you to celebrate every single cycle and what it would take to have the money in the bank in order for you to be making that. You guys, we believe in you. We believe in your future. We believe in what it is that you're working towards. And we are so incredibly grateful to be partnered with a company like Isagenix, which is what we believe is the best in the world. To be partnered with the greatest humans on the planet, these teams, Kelly and Tyler, their team, Freedom Living team, you're the salt of the earth human beings that we are so grateful to be partnered with. And so whenever you doubt, remember this call, and remember that your efforts are going to be compounded year after year after year. And what you're working in now, the productivity, the hours that you are receiving back year after year after year, it is not possible with any other opportunity than it is with Isagenix.
And so lastly, we want to say, take where you're at 30 days into your 90 days. Take this minute to reevaluate. look at where you're at. Say, okay, am I where I want to be? Am I a little bit behind where I want to be? Am I ahead of where I want to be? Is my action aligning with what I'm telling people I want? And then find an accountability, share this with somebody, share some things that you got away from tonight with somebody else after this call via text or on the Facebook groups or whatever, some nuggets so that this information can be regurgitated and it can become so cellularly ingrained in who you are. And then make a decision, you guys, that after tonight, if there has been doubt, if there has been fear, if there has been discouragement, that it would just be eradicated and you would take action regardless of, like I was saying in the beginning, the emotions that you feel, because we are living in such an amazing time with such an amazing company. You have all of the tools you need and you're partnered with all of the right individuals who are on this call and who are on your Facebook groups, who are in this Isagenix community. And we believe so much for you. So thank you guys for playing all out tonight, for being engaged, for commenting in the chats. We love all of you, and we are so excited to celebrate you in Scottsdale, to see you at New Year's kickoff, and we are just excited to continue this energy on this 90-day action plan. The next time we'll all be together, we will be hearing from the amazing Tyler and Kelly Dickerhoof, and we just think the world of you guys. We love you so much.
Bye, guys. Have a great night.
See you guys.